All right, the Financial Times says the Greek banking system is being propped up by a secret loan approved by the European Central Bank.
The central bank's financial statements show an estimated 100 billion euros being given to the faltering economy. Former budget director David Stockman joining us now with his reaction. David, you've seen it before. Do they think they can print their way out of this problem?
I don't know. It's the same old thing. More money printing. In fact, they've done so much in the EU lately that it's putting Bernanke to shame. I mean, if we look at the whole $1 trillion of so-called LTRO, that was just money printing by the back door. They had the banks in various countries buy the government bonds, and then they discounted those bonds and got cash from the ECB. So I think they're painting themselves into a corner. This can't work. It's leading, I think, to the final days of the whole Euro system, and really we're in the end stage of kind of the Keynesian welfare state that can no longer be financed, and they're desperately trying to prolong the game with money printing that won't work.
Yeah, I mean, so they're trying to fund Greece through this emergency liquidity assistance program and trying to keep it kind of quiet. The idea, of course, is that if everybody knows they're doing this, then this sort of shakes confidence even further. What do you think is the risk of this strategy?
Well, I think it's highly risky. The whole strategy going on in Europe is risky. They ought to allow the Greeks to exit the euro and get it over with. They ought to recognize they need an orderly process for unwinding the whole euro experiment. They have to recognize that austerity is not something that has been elected. It's something that's been forced on them by the world markets. Nobody wants to buy the bonds of the pigs. And so therefore, all of these countries are going to have to go through draconian, sustained fiscal restriction and consolidation. There's no way out of this, and they're simply, trying to delay the day of reckoning. But I don't think they have many tricks left in their bag.
All right. Well, as they may be going down as a result of their system of government intervention in the economy, we have a debate going on here in the United States about the government's role in the economy. President Obama, looking towards his reelection, supported an ad that goes after Mitt Romney for what Bain Capital was doing as a terrible economic model for the United States. Let's just take a listen to the president defending that ad, attacking Bain and private equity in a press conference he had yesterday.
My opponent, Governor Romney, his main calling card for why he thinks he should be president is his business experience. Yeah, he's not going out there touting his experience in Massachusetts. He's saying, I'm a business guy and I know how to fix it, and this is his business. And when you're president, as opposed to the head of a private equity firm, then your job is not simply to maximize profits.
So you have these two economic models. You have one exemplified by Bain Capital, which failed sometimes, but I think it had a success rate of about 70%. And you have one of the federal government involvement in the economy. Which one do you think the American public is going to support?
Well, I don't know. I think the current federal model is a disaster. We know where we are on the debt. We're going to have a debt ceiling that expires in December, and I don't know where the votes are going to come to increase it, but if they don't, then we'll have this huge sequester and we'll have all these tax cuts expiring. It is going to be really a thundering mess. So clearly what we're doing with fiscal policy and monetary policy at present isn't working. On the other hand, I don't think that Mitt Romney can legitimately say that he learned anything about how to create jobs in the LBO business. The LBO business is about how to strip cash out of old, long-in-the-tooth companies and how to make short-term profits.
But David, hold on a second,
No,
David. He had so many new jobs created for all the jobs that were lost. It was a net gain, no?
I don't think so. All the jobs that he talks about came from Staples. That was a very early venture stage deal that they got out of long before it got to its current size. The LBO business is legitimate free enterprise business, just like running a brothel if that's what you want to do, or a house of gambling.
No.
But it is not a good model for how we rebuild an economy or grow jobs.
It's about
irrelevant.
putting capital to its best use, David, but they're telling me we're out of time. I'm going to drag you back on so we can have this debate because I'm dying to do it with you, and they won't let me do it. David, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, David. Good to see you.
What's wrong about
Great.
that? I don't agree.
Well, Volvo